when we talk data and cloud services overhead, yeah, there is actually, this is a very interesting one because metadata and the cloud services, they are very silent in the beginning. Nobody can actually notice them in the beginning, but at scale, it becomes noticeable. It shows up that silent credit burns, it shows up the slow details, it shows up the pipeline taking a lot of time, the pipeline instability. It shows up at a scale for sure. And why that happens basically? So that happens because at a scale, we are, if the whole design is metadata driven, mainly we are writing and reading to a same metadata table again and again for all that inserts, updates, deletes kind of operations. Snowflake as a design is supported for the bulk, uh, but metadata is mostly like a row operation. So that's a becomes at a scale becomes a costly operations, even though the warehouse is not used, but overall time is a lot. And metadata is like if you are in a workflows, you're using show commands, user database commands, or the commands for like from the account usage views to get those parameters from the metadata. All that takes time, even though sometimes it's not taking the warehouse, but it's taking the time which can delay your pipeline. So taking all that into the consideration, the design should be simple enough. So when it's talking about the one, database, it's not reading the whole account. It's just reading that one database related metadata. So those kind of small things can help. And then in the in the cloud services, there is this access policies, right? How the data will be accessed. So because when we start at small, uh, we create a one role, or a few roles, and it all looks easy. Fewer users, same team, so the role is not a problem, privileges is not the problem. But at the scale, if we have not thought properly, because it's all in the governance, but governance sit into cloud services, right? So that creates a overhead and creates a lot of problem for the pipeline BI dashboard users. So thinking about the access policy is also very important in the initial design phase. How the users will have the access, what privileges they will have, how much data they can see, what data they can see, what workloads can see data, can the different databases can talk to each other for. So all that is like should come through our initial design. So when at scale, like you're getting you're getting the data from different vendors sources, and there are then comes with the compliance where okay, these two data should not talk to each other and things like that comes up. If we have not that you know initial design, uh, I have seen teams struggle, like because now we are in the production ready mode, and this new use case is actually putting us a little bit down, or perform like it's speeding slow us down basically. So the impact is in that case is again the overall platform behaviors becomes unpredictable. So and we can actually avoid that by doing a little bit on our side for the monitoring. So Radhika, if you can, yeah. So the how we can reduce this particular bottleneck. So there is this resource monitors which we can set up using the account usage views. There are good views like because we telemetry events or those kind of things are also there, right? So warehouse metering will give you the how much credit has been used, where we are burning the like most of the credits. And then there is this, we have already talked about the cluster informations, right? The views, the tables, all the metadata is already there. If we put up a resource monitor on top of that, we can have the early, we can have this early warnings basically, uh, where the cost is going, where the access histories are, because there is this role, there is this access history and network. Because all this is part of the cloud services, right? If we have set up it, we should have a kind of a monitoring if it's going into the, kind of the right scale. And if there is a issue, we find it early, rather than a new project or new workload has not working because of this particular issue. So yeah, I would suggest using the resource monitor uh, is very, will be very helpful to find out any cloud services overhead. So we can set up according to our project need.